Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing this fine day? I got my audio all up and ready to go. I got my stuff, and today is, I don't know, what is it, October 4th? I think it's October 4th because I saw all that whole October 3rd meme going around yesterday. I don't know if that's something you've seen yet, but either way, how's it going? To those of you that aren't at Essen or on your way to Essen, have you ever gone to Essen? Let me know in the comments down below, or in the chat, I guess. Let me know in the chat if you've gone to Essen, if it's something that was worth it, wasn't worth it. I don't know. I plan on going to Essen. I hope to go to Essen next year. I definitely have a lot of FOMO watching all my friends setting up, going to various booths, all that stuff. But definitely want to go at some point. But this year there's been plenty of travel as is. Good morning, GenCam. Hello, hello. Waiting theme for one of those old game shows playing in the background. James indeed. We have Ahem. Hey all. Good morning. Brian T. Good morning, campers. Good afternoon, campers. And Alex. Good morning, Killer J. Hi Alex, I found your channel a month ago and so far I really like you and your channel. Best board game channel in my opinion. Keep it up. Thank you. I very much appreciate that. Dwarfurious, I'm afraid. So many games to follow on Kickstarter. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I found, for me, and we've talked about this on the channel, so, you know, if it's new, it's new. Also, Q&A, ask whatever you want, do whatever you want, have a conversation, tell me what coffee you had this morning, if you had coffee this morning, if you had tea, I can still like you, even if I don't really like tea. But either way, as far as crowdfunding goes, for a long time I was backing between 5 to 10 board games every single month. And then I got to a point where I was like, I'm turning off that faucet. And ever since then, I'm still tempted, I'm still pulled in, but now I back maybe 1 to 2 a month, maybe. There are some months where I back nothing, there's some months where I back 3, but it's definitely gone down very significantly, so I'm less afraid than I used to. I think a big part of it is, as time has gone on, I've realized that when games come in, it's not that I'm not excited, I am very excited. My excitement for every new game that shows up is still very present. The thing that has changed is the recognition that I have so many things I want to dive into at any given time that I can't dive into everything all the time. So my realization around the reality of my time constraints has made it so that it's easier for me to say no to things on crowdfunding. Everyone's going to have their own limitation, whether it's, you know, shelf space, whether it's game time, for me it's game time, whether it's money, whatever it is, all that stuff. Ricky, feel free to make noise, it's all good. This is a live stream, it's very chill. My daughter's in the background. Kids are home from school right now. It's the holiday of Sukkot, which means it's between days, so the kids are all home. If you hear background noise, it is what it is. My daughter's like sneakily trying to go downstairs to like get something for the freezer, and I'm like, I don't care, it's all good. Anyways, I would love to go someday. That's from GenCam. Yep, makes sense. I definitely want to go. Board Game Officer, just here to gloat on defeating your gnomes. Oh, hello, Board Game Officer. You are the only person, for the record, who defeated my gnomes. I offered a challenge, basically, to play Mythic mischief against who knows how many people. I got like maybe 15, 20 game invites, and I chose gnomes for all of them, and I beat every single person except for Board Game Officer. Now, Board Game Officer, I am down for a rematch, because I hate being that guy. I really do. I shouldn't. No, you won. You won fair and square. You won fair and square. I have a reason why it wasn't as optimal as it should have been. I'll tell you the reason, because at this point it sounds weird. But basically, if you played Mythic Mischief, you'll know that the starting moves of the way you set up your characters is usually fairly similar for all the factions, except for the gnomes. Because the gnomes start with a burrow, so they don't want to be next to every tome, they want to be one away. And at the time, when I started the game with you, I was in the middle of like 7 different games, and so I wasn't really paying attention as I was setting it up the regular way, so I did set it up inefficiently. Now, you still played well, and you still very possibly would have won, but I want like 4 rematches in a row because I'm annoyed at myself. It happened in like 3 games. I managed to recover from the others, though, because the gnomes are the faction that I've only lost once from playing it 20 to 30 times by now, and you are the one person. Aaron Taylor, I really want to go, but sadly no. Dwarfers, I haven't wanted this year to showcase the DRG expansion. Ooh, fun. Jenna, call Catan. Okay. There we go. This is the rule, by the way. Anyone who texts me, anyone who does a super chat for Jenna to cull things, I will message Jenna and have her cull things. Okay, so message this. Jenna, I just got another $5 super chat that you are supposed to cull the Settlers of Catan. Or the game previously known as Settlers of Catan, that now is just Catan. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so go ahead. Jenna, the obligatory message over there. Jenna's actually in chat. Never mind. Jenna is in chat. I'm scrolling down. Meg and Jenna are both in chat. Good morning to you both. Jenna, I'm still going to have to text you every single time. Just the rule is, even if you're in chat, I will have to text you. I'm afraid somebody gets a follow. Virtual high five. I'd love to go. Just so I'm catching up. Killer J, Alex, my favorite board game channel. Hands down. I appreciate it. Thank you. Good morning, bro. so much coffee. I feel like the longer I'm in the hobby, the less I back. Yes, I think that's a trend for everyone for different reasons. I think it's just a natural evolution. James, received my copy of Expeditions. Oh, I love Expeditions. I have found so many games in the past like few months that I love. This year I have DEI, I have Expeditions, and then the next few I need more plays of, but Wayfarers and South Tigris. Oh, Apiary is great. Apiary is great, although not the same level, but Apiary is very, very solid. But Wayfarers and Evenfall are two games that I'm really excited about. Lots of fun games this year. Maple French Toast Latte from the local shop. That sounds delicious, Ahami. John Chavola, I'm going to plug the new Smirking Kickstarter for the Night Cage. New expansion, Shrieking Hollow. If you guys aren't paying attention, go ahead over to Kickstarter, and the new expansion, Night Cage, Shrieking Hollow. Hallow? Is it Hallow? Shrieking Hollow is the new expansion for the Night Cage. Also, I filmed my Tesseract review, John, and that should be going up soon enough. Dwarf Furious, I'm maybe 6th in the last month. I'll probably end up grabbing Nemesis, Heroes of Air, Land and Sea, Chip 3's upcoming Roth, and Tark. Yeah, Roth and Chip 3 is definitely going to be back. Asaf Hirsch, Chag Sameach, Alex. Chag Sameach to you as well. Chag Sameach. Brian T, once you build your collection, you're more selective what things you add. Kickstarter FOMO is less pressing. I've been waiting on 20 games. Wait, no. The more things deliver, the less you are enticed. Yeah, I'm still enticed by things. I just recognize that games show up. Like Tamashii. Tamashii showed up, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. I'd love to play it. I got so many things on my agenda right now, I don't have time to play it. And so for me, and also I am in the privileged position that I get a lot of games for free from publishers. So when I'm debating all the things to spend money on, and I know that I'm getting games for free from publishers anyway, if I anyways don't have enough time, it makes it easier to focus on the free things. That's obviously a content creator benefit. Once you build your collection, Chad Parker, Alex, been a fantasy started like the 1,200 followers mark. I just checked my crowdfunding. I'm waiting for 20 games. I'm curious how many you're waiting for. Chad, I don't know the answer to that. If I had to make a ballpark guess, I'd guess probably around 30, 40, but it's hard to know for sure. I used to track it a lot more diligently, and I stopped doing that. Board Game Garden, I defeat Alex quite often. Yes, Jenna, you do. Jenna actually has, I think Jenna probably has a, maybe, I don't know if the win rate, I have to track, I do track it, but I'd have to look. But Jenna has a very good win rate against me in Mythic Mischief. Now, Jenna, the thing in particular is I'm almost undefeated in the Gnomes. The Gnomes is my most played faction, and the only person who has won me in the Gnomes is the Board Game Garden. The Gnomes is a faction I'm very good at. Professor Meg, I've beaten your Gnomes. You have not, Meg. You have not beaten my Gnomes. This is, I don't log the factions I've played as in each game, but I've only been defeated as the Gnomes once. Meg, I'll play you, whatever. Brian, Board Game Garden, hello. John, dude, the opportunity to get Bloodborne the miniature board game, have you played and do you recommend it? John, I recommend Bloodborne the miniatures board game from the stance of other people like it. It wasn't for me though. I didn't like it, although it is well liked in general. For me, the critique I have against it is it feels too much like the video game. And I didn't like the video game. So it's a weird critique. If you like the video game, you might like Bloodborne the board game. So I do recommend it with a caveat. Gen Cam, Board Game Garden, hello. Chad, Professor Meg. Professor Meg, me and Jenna being, he's not that good. No, I'm not that good with Mythic Mischief. Meg has won me more times than I've won her. Jenna, I think it's somewhat par. Again, I have stats, whatnot. I think I am good at Mythic Mischief, and I'm nearly undefeatable at the Gnomes, but you can stomp me at the other factions. Robbie, turn on live chat. Done at the beginning of this video. Board Game Garden, Meg. Board Game Garden, hello, friends. I tried to win against your Gnomes, but I lost for 1 point. Ajimi, good game, but you still lost. You still lost. Unemployed Lawyer, why doesn't Jenna have a wrench? That's a good question. I can't make a wrench from, I'm currently logged in on the app over here. I can't make you a wrench right now. Maybe if I go to my phone. I think on my phone I'm logged in. Dun 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 dun. Let me go to my phone. I'm gonna go ahead and give Jenna a wrench. If I go to my profile, go to my channel, go to the live. Give me a second. We're just doing the important things over here. Chat. You can now put people on timeout. Got it. Good to know. Jenna. Add as moderator. Managing moderator. Can manage. Sounds good. Perfect. Jenna's got a wrench. Press Meg's got a wrench. We're all good there. Perfect. Okay. Problem solved. Alex, I am here, sir. Yes, I figured that out now. Aaron Taylor, I want to play against your Gnomes. My username in the app is AlexSR. ALEXSR. I haven't played a game in like a week. Maybe I need to update the app. I don't know. But AlexSR, and I'm happy to play anyone. But the tricky part is, I guess, anyone who invites me today, I'll play as the Gnomes. Tomorrow onwards, I make no guarantees. So if you want to try to beat my Gnomes, any invites I get on Mythic Mischief today, I will pick Gnomes as my faction. I just can't guarantee I'm picking Gnomes all the time. And again, it's not that I'm great at Mythic Mischief. I think I'm good at Mythic Mischief, but I think I've been beaten a lot too. But the Gnomes is where I'm pretty good. Nathan, do you have kids? How many? What ages? Do you play games with them? Are they particularly like? I don't any they particularly like. So Nathan, I do have kids. I have 4 kids. I mean, their ages are roughly, it's one of those things maybe I shouldn't give it away on the internet. I don't know. But their ages are 4, 11, 9, I'm always tricky about when they cross the lines. I think it's 11,984 right now, I think. But they all cross the line at different points. I always have to, like, 4 times you have to mentally recalculate where the numbers are. But I think it's 11,984. What ages do you play games with them? Yes, a lot. Any they particularly like? A lot of games. Currently, Zombie Teens is the one they enjoy. That's what we're going through right now, but a bunch of other games. I'm just saying one of them. Nathan Apple. Not an awful. I'm in a work meeting, but being naughty, and I'm here too. Good on you, Nat. Do the important things. Board Game Officer. No matter the rematch outcome, I will always hold that crown. Board Game Officer. If I defeat every other person for infinity as the gnomes, you will indeed hold that crown. And that is what it is. Mr. Woods, did you watch One Piece on Netflix? Yes, I did, in fact, with all my kids. Dwarf Furious. Roth obviously a back. It has a dwarf in it. Honestly, it wouldn't be just for that. It would be backed either way. Andrew Hackley. Cleveland has some pretty good coffee. 6 shooter stands out especially. However, I've still never found better coffee than what Deep Roots Coffee offers, which is also from Ohio. Recently, I actually found Bigby. I didn't find it. Technically, Meg found it. We were traveling to a convention, and she's like, oh, let's go to this new coffee store, because I just make my coffee at home. The Great Dane. My wife and I have been loving Tesseract. Can't wait to hear what your thoughts are. Well, you can wait and see. Overall positive with 1 drop of hesitancy. Board Game Garden. Alex, have you played Federation? No. Jenna, do you have Federation? Jenna, if you have Federation, we need to start Jenna Fridays early if you have Federation, because I want to play that game. Orski, hey, how you doing, Orski? How's it going? Jen Cam plays board games. I hope to start painting Tamashi. I hope to start playing Tamashi. You don't need to show everyone up here. Nidamir, hello there. James, I wish some games would show up. Also in the 20 range, Klein Chalon. Alex, you have Castle Burgundy in your top 20, I believe. Do you exclusively play at 2 players or still get a 3 and 4? I like Castle Burgundy at 2 and 3. 4 tends to slow down. I'm fine with 4 if you're playing it on Board Game Arena asymmetrically, but 2 and 3 is what I usually play Castle Burgundy at. Hey, Hemi, where's this Deep Roots you speak of? Ohio in here. Don't know. Asaf, hello. Dwarf Furious. I thought we were talking about Gnomes vs. Wizards at first. Dwarf Furious, so did I. Aaron Taylor, I want to get some more games on crowdfunding, but then I remember about the Chip Theory Black Friday deals. I want the Too Many Bones Brass Mag miniatures, and I'm so much more. Those are overkill. I mean, you can get them, but overkill. Professor Meg, I thought it was IV. Maybe that was Jenna. So, Meg, so keep in mind, memories are memories, and I don't know for sure. I know we definitely didn't play Gnomes vs. Gnomes at IV. I know that you beat someone. I think you didn't beat Jenna. I beat Jenna. You may have beaten Jenna too. I don't know. But you had a strong win. You beat Zach with the Gnomes, right? Didn't you beat Zach with the Gnomes? I think you beat Zach. That was the issue, because nobody beat Zach. I did beat Zach once on the app on their live stream, but generally Zach wins. So I think you beat Zach as the Gnomes. We definitely didn't play as the Gnomes at IV. In the app, I don't know for sure. I just don't think so. Dwarf Furious, Nemesis almost 50,000 followers. Have you seen anything with more? No, 50,000 followers is going to be the highest I've seen to date. Brian, hello, Professor Meg. Asaf, Alex, did you get a chance to play Voidfall? No, I didn't, unfortunately. Also, we get a ticket to Paris to have a 1 vs. 1 Tricarian with you. France, not Texas, to have a 1... Well, I won't buy a copy. I won't buy a ticket to Paris, France, but if you buy me a ticket to Paris, France, I will have a 1 vs. 1 Tricarian with you. Alex, hey Alex, love from Romania. Are those IKEA shelves behind you? No, they're not. Also, should I put the boxes like you do in the background, or should I worry about the components getting all around the places inside? I am selective about the games and how they go here and whether the components will be messed up, so I think pick the game accordingly, and I only do this because it looks pretty for videos. My other shelves do not have this at all, so no, unless you want it for videos, or even just your own personal prettiness, I don't know. As far as the game shelves, they are the Better Homes and Gardens cube organizers from Walmart that has nearly the exact same dimensions as IKEA shelves, like nearly the exact ones. The only thing I think is different is the Too Many Bones chest, which fits IKEA shelves perfectly, does not fit my IKEA Better Home and Garden shelves. Libid, where's the 12x12 for Spirit Island? 12x12. Oh, it's not done. It's not done. It's not done, I'm sorry. Killa, Jenna, I got sure by the poltergeist last night in about 20 minutes. Nice. Unemployed lawyer. Jenna, receive a wrench. Wow, I'm a handyman now. Zoria, have you heard of Explorer the Valley of the Dead King? Also, I think I'm way behind in chat. I'm sorry for that, but you guys are doing awesome, keeping things active. Let's see. I have definitely heard of Explorer. I have not played it. I've always been interested, but not as interested as some other games. Board Game Garden, it's so hard. I've never beaten the Poltergeist. I think I've played against the Poltergeist. I don't remember if I beat him now. It's been a long time. Professor Meg, is this a new coffee shirt? Yes, good eye. This is a new coffee shirt. This is, this coffee is giving me life. It is. I mean, the coffee I had this morning was giving me life. Now it's just giving me envy for my afternoon coffee. Killjoy, ouch. Corey Christensen, nothing heart-wrenching in this chat so far. Heart-wrenching? Is there supposed to be heart-wrenching stuff in the chat? Tobias, came by to say hi. Dwarf Furious, I wish I had back Tesseract. I'll get it later. Tesseract is fun. I enjoy it, but again, watch the review. Unemployed Lawyer, Professor Meg, how's ONEB? There's no ONEB yet. ONEB is next week. Board Game Garden. I don't, but I have played it early this month, and wow, it's fantastic. Jenna, I want to play Federation. It's one of the games that's on my list of games I want to play. There's not a lot of games that are on the list of games I want to play. Usually I have plenty of games I'm already playing, but I do want to play Federation. Mike James, have you managed to table a Mind Clash game yet? I tabled Septima, if that counts. I didn't love Septima. I thought it was okay. I enjoyed it, but I was not in love with it. But I want to try the other games, because I think the other games are for me to a degree, but yeah, we'll see. Board Garden. I don't, but I played it. No, we got that one. Janual Yi. Any thoughts on the current price tag on Dragon Eclipse? I think the current price tag on Dragon Eclipse is very good if you're skipping miniatures. Once you're adding all the bling, I mean, bling costs money. Is it worth it for that price point? I don't know. I think you get a lot of game. If you're willing to do standees, you get a lot of game at a good price point. If you want the bling, you have to pay for the bling. So I think it's a reasonable price point, if that's the question. Have you matched table? No. Okay. Board Garden. Everyone beat me. LOL. So Jenna, that is true to an extent, but also remember that, again, at IV, everyone beat you, but you're also fairly new to Mythic Mischief. Since IV, you've beaten me like half the time in the app, so I think it is a game. Mythic Mischief is a game that skill matters, and playing it more matters. One of the reasons I'm very happy about the app. Brian, hi Alex, do you prefer Planet Unknown or Isle of Cats? Planet Unknown, and it isn't even close. I like Isle of Cats Explore and Draw. Isle of Cats itself, I'm fine with. I think it's fine. I don't love the drafting. I find the drafting not rewarding, and that takes away from the experience for me. Two Acorns Games. Hello, everybody. Hello, Two Acorns Games. How are you going? How are you doing so far? Asaf First. Done deal. We'll contact you soon about your tickets. See you soon. I can't tell if you're being legitimate. I can't tell if you're being serious. But if you are, I guess I have to find time in my travel schedule. I mean, I can't turn down a trip to Paris. That seems insane. So if you're not being serious, that's totally cool. I would expect you not to be serious. And if you are being serious, holy hell. Archie, worst game box ever. Not the game itself, just the box art. Oh, not the game itself, just the box art insert. Well, those are different categories. Worst game box ever. Oh, I got an easy one. Fireball Island. Fireball Island is the worst game box ever. Okay, there we go. The original Fireball Island, if you've seen that box, trash. Absolute trash. BoardGameCo, what's your favorite miniatures board game? Oh, I guess I'm just going through my top 10. Cthulhu Death May Die. Cthulhu Death May Die is my favorite miniatures board game. I just went through my top 100 games of all time and just pulled the first one that has miniatures. Michael, hello all. Aaron, I'm trying to still stay excited by 6 Siege, but these delays and costs are making it more difficult. Yeah, I don't know what will happen with 6 Siege. I don't know. I wish everyone the best, and I hope that game shows up. I really liked it. I can't say I'm optimistic. Unemployed Lawyer. Alex, I thought you said Meg was there now and you were there going next week. No, we're going together. We're going together to ONEB for Spiritfire content, so stay tuned for Spiritfire content and all those fun things. Corey Christensen, shame on me for attempting a bad pun with wrench. Oh, you were doing a wrench pun. Corey, I didn't get that. But also, while we're at it, let's make you a mod too. I like you. I trust you. Corey Christensen. Let's go ahead and find him. Live chat. Open up live chat. Corey Christensen. Corey Christensen. Make as moderator. Managing moderator. Corey, you're good. Perfect. I've known Corey for since I started this channel, so it's been a while now. I don't know who gets to be moderators, but I think people who have been around for a long time, who you trust. Corey also does a lot of moderating type stuff in general, so I trust him. We'll see what happens. Unemployed Lawyer, it's next week. Home for a week filming previews, then away next week. ONEB, Cleveland, then New York. Yeah, Meg, you have a crazy schedule. Tobias, so do I. Tobias, Alex, what's your most awaited Kickstarter game? Primal, easily. Annoyingly, Primal. Soya, Honey Buzz vs. Apiary. Apiary. I like Honey Buzz a lot, and I'm curious what the expansions will add, but Apiary has more depth to the experience, which I appreciate. Sydney, St. Louis, worst game box ever, Iceberg box for Frostpunk. I don't know about that, so I can't comment. The Preacher, I just joined the live, so forgive me if there's a topic I'm ignoring. I'd love to talk about good games for children. I have a fairly advanced 6-year-old who loves games, need recommendations. Ooh, I highly recommend checking out a video I did on the channel that is the BoardGameCo, best board games for children that adults will love too. Something like that. And it's a really good list that I think I actually got critiqued at the time because a bunch of people were like, these aren't kids games. And I was like, I'm sorry, I play them with my kids. Meaning I do think it is a kids game category, probably for kids who play board games a decent amount, because that's the lens. The lens I created the video with was the lens of my kids play games. So I think it's a good advanced list of board games for kids, and that's probably why they're fun for kids too. So I'd recommend that video. Intrepid Fuel. I went with the gameplay all in for Dragon Eclipse. Save money to get the content. I feel like minis aren't needed and not worth an extra $130. Yeah, and you are also, Intrepid Fuel, you are in the same place I am in the sense that you're realizing you're not playing. Like, Dragon Eclipse is a great game. And Awakened Realms, they're likely going to send me a copy. They generally do. If they weren't sending me a copy, I still wouldn't back it. As much as I like the game and I want the game, I have ISS Vanguard, I have Tamashii, I have Tainted Grail coming. I have so many games coming that it's not a lack of liking the game. Like, I'm happy I'll get a copy. I am. And then it'll go on the shelf and hopefully be played. Or it'll either be played or 10 years down the road or 3 years down the road, it'll go into a video of 10 campaign games I'm getting rid of because I'm not playing. I don't know. But I like the journey. I do. And when you get rid of games, ideally you can sell a lot of these. Lots of these miniature games, you can sell them for what you paid anyway. So the journey is fun, even if I don't play them. But I just don't have time to deal with buying and selling and storing all these games, so I'm being more selective. Professor G, I love my Fireball Island. Do you love the box though, Meg? Not do you love Fireball Island, do you love the box for Fireball Island? Archie, also watch your language, swearing in chat. Archie, just search the Fireball Island box. Dear God, it is bad, by the way. Mike, you have some white fluff on your right shoulder. Do you get? Thank you. Thank you. What is that? It's not like dandruff. That's literally fluff. It's like fluff. Anyways, did you get to try Jerusalem? I did not, unfortunately. I'm halfway through the rulebook. There are so many games. I've been tabling a lot. I'm still behind, unfortunately. It's off. I never joke about Karen, but now seriously, I'm serious. I think they can be pretty awesome. A very cool experience. Asaf, you're insane. You're insane. I love it, but you're insane. Ali Glidden, hello. Corey Christian, Spearfire content. Yes, there will be Spearfire content coming. Corey, unemployed, don't know how I got the wrench in that case, if it's responsibility related. I think it's one of those things, you gotta act, what's the expression, dress for the part, dress for the job you want, or whatever it is. If you walk around being a moderator in everyone else's community, eventually everyone's like, I guess I'll make you a moderator, it seems like everyone else does, and you're basically a moderator everywhere, George, so you get the moderator by default, until you abuse your power, in which case it depends on who you abused your power against. Archie, yikes, that box hurts my eyes. Now also, Fireball Island, I'm not even referring to the art of the box. That I don't love, but I don't hate it. I'm referring to literally the box just as hot garbage, the quality of it. Nidimir, I recently talked a friend out from Dragon Eclipse. Wish I could do the same to myself. I love that you talked a friend out of it, but not yourself. That is fun. Brian, if you trust George with the wrench, you can trust anyone. Don't ban me, George. I love you. That's fair, Brian. Best of Star Trek. Hi, Alex. Thanks for all the reviews. Anytime. Happy to help. Unemployed. Ban Brian T. Brian T. No. Professor Meg, has Alex let you leave the creepy cabin in the mountains where you were last week? She's been stuck in the creepy cabins until we go to ONEB. Intimate Fuel. Doesn't Professor Meg love all boxes? I mean, that's her thing. That's fair. That's fair. Let's see. Intimate Fuel. Sure D. I cancel my pledge, being responsible and whatnot, but I don't own any of those games you mentioned. Now I feel the pull to go back at it again. I want all the games. I have to be honest with my time, and I could back and play 10 games for the cost of one campaign game experience in terms of my time, not in terms of the cost. Time is the commodity that I'm missing the most, and I play a lot of games. I'm going to have over 2,000 plays in 2023. Over 2,000 plays, and I still feel like I can't catch up. Imagine how most people feel who don't have that kind of leeway, so it is what it is. We live in a golden age of board games, which we have for the past like 5 years easily, and it's not slowing down anytime soon. Aaron Taylor, I was excited about Dragon Eclipse, then I remembered I have Robomon coming, can't justify both of them, so I'll have to miss out. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You can't justify everything. Professor Meg, how many people are wanting to see the fluff? I don't know, that's a great question. The Preacher, do you have a favorite publisher? Arguably Orange Nebula. It's hard to say for sure, so I'll list a bunch of them, and I'll list a bunch of them from different criterias. So ONEB is the only company that has 2 games that are a 5 out of 5 for me. Meaning not 2 games, but all their games. All their games are a 5 out of 5. Granted, all their games are only 2. That's the trade-off there. But every single game they've put out is a 5 out of 5. Chip Theory Games would also be a favorite company because the quality of the games are amazing. Even though they haven't had all 5 out of 5s, they have some of my favorite games, including Too Many Bones, which is one of my favorite games of all time. It's amazing. I love it. I will say, Stone Rider Games recently on a high. I've been loving Tapestry again. Expeditions is amazing. Apiary is great, but not my favorite publishers, but definitely up there. Definitely close. Second tier, I'd say. I'd say Steamforge Games, I love the communication with them, and I really like their games, but their games aren't the same level, so also like a tier 2. If I'm talking about the people at the company, tier 1. If I'm talking about the overall package of everything, tier 2. So I'd say ONEB and Chip Theory are instinctively the first 2 that come to mind. There are a lot of publishers who I love for different reasons, from the people, from the communication, from the games they put out, but definitely I'd say ONEB and Chip Theory are probably my top 2. IV. I like Ivy. It's again, it depends on what you're counting, because Ivy has people, and they have Mythic Mischief, which I love. Mythic Mischief is incredible, but there are other games I like them a lot, but I don't love them the same level. So I guess a lot of different conversations there. My favorite is Pandora's Box. Professor Meg, my favorite is Pandora's Box. From like Chip Theory? Isn't Chip Theory have Pandora's Box? Or something else? I don't know. Let's see. Brian T, did you open Professor Meg? Of course she did. Dwarf Furious, honest take on a rune. Seems like Meg was being quite oppressive. Do the heroes stand a chance? So I do think the heroes stand a chance in a rune. So honest take on a rune. First of all, I've said this before in many videos. If you ask me a question on a game I played, paid content or not, you'll get my opinion. For better or for worse. Because if a game is bad enough that I actively don't like it, we won't take it on. Versus if a game just isn't for me, I have no problem saying a game isn't for me. I think to do so in the paid video is a little bit of a disservice to the publisher paying you, but after the fact, I refuse to hide my opinion. So Arun, I think I need to play Arun properly, meaning Arun was a bit of a messy situation in the sense that usually if I'm doing a playthrough on the channel, I usually like to play the game before I ever dive into it the first time, because I like to have a good feeling on the experience, especially if it's app-driven or campaign-driven where things are unlocking. And in the case of Arun, the timeline was very tight. The game was constantly delayed to the point that we only got it with like 2 days to go before the crowdfunding campaign. We did not have any window of time to dive into it. And so we dove into it with not the best experience that I would ideally like from playing a game. And that showed because like going through the app, if you watch the gameplay, there's like sections where like things jump a little bit in the app. It wasn't a perfect experience, and it was our first time playing, which is not the way I like doing a playthrough. It's just they were late. They kept on delaying things, unfortunately, and not blaming them, just saying the practical reality. And so I was very excited about Arun. And playing it, I kind of don't think it's a game for me, but I also don't think it was the best experience. I had fun. It was a fine game, but there were lots of questions on as far as how to best, properly dive into it, and I think I just wasn't approaching it from the optimal way to dive into it. So it's the kind of game that I didn't dislike it, but also no, I wasn't entranced by it. But I think a lot of it was a pressure on a bad experience, unfortunately. So yeah, take that for what it's worth. I'd go more by the general ratings of the game. Again, I didn't dislike it. I was not engaged by it either. Mike James, favorite design team is David Tursi and Nigel Buckle. What's yours? I don't know if I think about it from favorite design team. I mean, Stefan Feld is a designer who I almost always am impressed by. Vlaada Chvátil, his name on anything will catch my attention. I think I usually resonate more with publishers than with design names. I think Rosenberg will always catch my eye. I think it's more publishers that catch my attention. Dwarfers, I have too many bones on my table. Good job, you should. Neon Gorilla, woohoo, too many bones. Exactly what I'm talking about. Professor Meg, Cosmos is a surprise to me that I love a lot of their stuff. Good call on Cosmos. Cosmos had I think Cosmos puts out a lot of lighter games that aren't as much for me, but they have been on a roll with a lot of great games. Also, Meg, when are we streaming My Island? When are we streaming My Island? Because honestly, we played a bunch of games, and I don't want My Island to take 4.5 months. So also, by the way, Meg, just so you know, they put My City Rollin' Right on BGA. So that's another thing. Two Acres Games. Thanks for mentioning Villages of the Oakdale Roll right in a previous vid. Answering your questions, it is a print and play. However, we'll have several competitions during the campaign with printed games as the main prizes. I want a printed game. I love Roll and Rights, but I don't do print and plays. I always think I'll do them, and I backed a few, and then I realized I never print them out, so I stopped doing them. Jenna from the Board Game Garden has a great video on like managing her print and play Roll and Rights, so check that video out. It is inspiring. I still am not doing it. I just don't have time. I need the games. Just give me the games. Don't give me the papers. John Chavola, you're going to make me cry. John, I will try my best to make you cry. Januel, I'm finding it hard to play all my continuously growing library of games. Yes, it is a problem. The solution is to play more games every year. Ajimi, I pledged the special edition with miniatures and add-ons for Dragon Eclipse since I only have Nemesis from AR and no solo games. I'm hyped for the game and excited to see more. I think Dragon Eclipse is a great choice for many people depending on where you are in your board game collection and how many campaign games you have. You just have to know yourself and what you can actually handle. Rick, if you're going to create your own game, what already created game is closest to what you would probably create? You can also pick an undelivered game. I'm torn between like an area control game like, Blood Rage that I really enjoy creating versus my favorite game systems that I really enjoy are games like Vindication or Expeditions, where it's very card driven, but that's so hard to create, I think. I think the amount of card balancing you'd have to play through. So I think my favorite type of game would be harder to create. So I'd love to create something someday, but just not anytime soon. The Preacher. Is there somewhere I can go to see a list of all the games you have given a 5 rating to? Not perfectly, but I can say that if you watch the top 100 games of all time that I did last year, the top 40-ish or so are all 5 out of 5s. So the top 40 of my top 100 games of all time. And if you want the newest list, then, you'll have to wait till the end of the year, basically, because I'll do it again. I'm going to do another top 100. I don't think Devin's joined the top 100, so we'll see. We can do it with, it'll probably be me and Meg doing our top 100, I guess, on the channel. If we can peer pressure Jenna to join, that might work as well. Someone throw in like a $20 super chat. I'll give it directly to Jenna if she joins. How about that? Jenna in top 100. Yeah, exactly, Meg. That's what we're talking about. Jenna, you want to join our top 100? We'll peer pressure you. I spoke to Devin. Devin's just juggling. Devin with his new job at Lucky Duck. He's still consider him an honorary BoardGameCo member, but he's just shifted more and more out, just timing and balance. It's been too hard to juggle everything, and something had to go. Rick, if you're going to create your own, nope. Preacher, Brian T. With the amount of Zombicide, Marvel United, Blood Rage love, I would think Come On is Alex's favorite. No, Come On is not my favorite publisher. They put out a lot of games that I really like, but when I'm thinking of my favorite games, I guess Cthulhu Death May Die. Brian, you're a prince. I love you. Cthulhu Death May Die Honestly, Clue Left May Die is enough for me to love Come On just from that alone. And honestly, Master of the Universe is great. Master of Darkness is great. Zombicide, you're right. Come On should be one of my favorite publishers. Preacher. No, Brian. Ben, have you been able to get Clash of Cultures to the table? No. I'm sorry. I tried. I've been trying so hard. Ben, Stan Kodanski is my favorite designer. Stan is amazing. Aaron Taylor, speaking of campaign games, my wife and I finally got Oathsworn to the table. My wife and I are loving it. Can't wait to dive into the next chapter. Yeah, Oathsworn's amazing. Professor Meg, Camp Co-opers, should we stream tonight? Meg, I will make it happen. Yohim. Hi Alex, will you be reviewing Ezra and Nehemiah? I don't know a lot about the theme, but I've started to get into Garfield games. Love your content. Your channel is my go-to channel for board games. I would love to review Ezra and Nehemiah. I'm very excited for that one, and loving Wayfarers of South Tigris made me even more excited. Robbie Zenger, yes you should. Jeremiah, Restoration Games put out a teaser for a Megavirus remake, Reimagine. I don't know anything about a Megavirus. I don't even know what a Megavirus is. Professor Meg, what are you streaming these days? Two Acorns Games, Smiley, Professor Meg, Corey Christensen, mostly Final Girl, just for me, but Alex and I maybe just started recently. We haven't streamed most of the summer because of travel. Yeah, travel, there's been a bunch of things that just gotten in the way, so life is definitely a little crazier. Two Acorns Games, The Unemployed Lawyer, Professor Meg, yes, you should stream tonight. I'd love to see you do a top 10 list of games you'd buy to start a collection. So, there's actually a video on Quacklope's channel, you can check it out. I think it's a good video. It was $100 to start a board game collection. I think it's a fun video to watch of what I would recommend you spend $100 on if you only had $100. I think it was 100, it might have been 50, but I think it was 100 to start a board game collection. Mike James, Vindication is fantastic. Who doesn't want to be a guilt-ridden scumbag? Exactly. Professor Meg, Jenna in the top 100. Yeah, someone's got to tell Jenna. Oh, she's there. Okay, 1 second. Only thing I was going to do on your channel. Oh, we'll talk, Jenna. We'll figure it out. Corey Christensen, Jenna, hop in the top 100. Perfect, okay. Also, Jenna, I'm going to be sending you $20, by the way. So, actually, I don't think you've paid me for PAX Unplugged Airbnb situation. So, I'll just reduce $20 from that because Brian paid their way for that. David, best wishes, everyone. Hope people are in good health. I'm actually Connie Vogelman's husband and want to thank reviewers for the time and contributions to the hobby. Aw, thank you. Sydney Johnson, I miss you publishing your ratings on Little Breeze. What's Little Breeze? I don't know what Little Breeze is. The Great Dane, I was going to say yes, have Jenna do the top 100. Yeah, Jenna's fantastic, but if she's doing it on her own channel, I'll have to balance what the options are. Oh, Meg. I love Meg's like, sorry, Alex, I'm doing a top 100 on Jenna's channel now. I hate you, just a little bit. The Great Dane, I was going to say yes, okay. Nidamir, other option to catch up with ever-growing collection is getting less games. That's not likely. Borgin Garden, tempting. Only thing I was going to do on my channel, I guess I could do both. So, let me think about that. Now that we're up to the comment. Yeah, that's the biggest problem. Top 100s do well. Top 100s do well. I'm open to ideas. First of all, you don't have to at all. Still love you no matter what. But I'm intrigued. We'll see. We'll figure it out. Okay. Nidamir, other options to catch up with Evergrowing. No, we skipped that. Dwarf Furious, my email is telling me Poland game custom inserts are arriving any day. I don't know what that is, but sounds good. Enjoy them. The Unemployed Lawyer, the Board Game Garden, but on Alex's channel. It can just be Catan. Januel, Unsettled is finally shipping out. Excited. Yeah, Unsettled is amazing. I need to play it more. Professor Meg, sorry Alex, I'm doing the top 100 on Jenna's channel. I hate you, Meg. Unemployed Lawyer, reduced $25, you monster. She was told to cull Catan 2 earlier. Yeah, the $5 for culling Catan goes to me. I just messaged Jenna. I'm pinging Jenna. I'm harassing her for $5. I thought that's the deal. This $20 is for Jenna, but like, you know, and by the way, this $20, I'm paying the YouTube cut on it too, just so you know. So like, take that into account too. Like, YouTube's cut is still going to YouTube. I'm gonna give Jenna the full 20 out of the goodness of my heart because I'm a prince of a human being, sort of. Unemployed Lawyer, Jimmy. Funny side note, it's very funny hearing you try to pronounce Cascadero and Cascadito in your last video. Thank you. Corey, Alex, should you do the top 100 on Jenna's channel? Should do the top 100. I'm even open to mixing it, by the way, to like forcing people to jump back and forth, being like, hey, top 100, like 100 to 90 on my channel, 90 to 80 on Jenna's channel. I'm fine distributing the content that way, forcing a degree of crossover and overlap, because why not? But we can figure things out, no pressure. You can also watch 2 top 100s. You all have time. 2 Akins Games. If you tell us how to contact you, we'll send the game with pleasure. We couldn't find your email anywhere. 2 Akins Games, if you look in the bottom of every single video description, every single one except for the live streams, every other video description at the very bottom has my email. It's alex@boardgameco.com, but if you forget, again, any description that's not a live stream, we'll have it in. Why not the live stream, you ask? A good question. A good question. I don't have an answer for you. Mike James, did Devin ever get to you to play Into Deep? No, I mean, Devin doesn't have to get me. I want to play Into Deep. I got rid of Into Deep only because it wasn't being played with my game group, but I really like Into Deep a lot, and I think it's great, and I want to play it with Devin, but Devin doesn't live here. I tried. I was so close to getting Devin to move here. He backed out. Whatever. Best of Meg, and to her, that's like $400. Demetrius, greetings from Greece. Any favorite board games with Greek mythology or history? Yes, Cyclades. Cyclades is amazing. Love that game. Daniel Lee, quick, spam more messages. Alex is catching up. Dwarf Furious, Alex, talk faster. Board Game Officer, I'll come to the top 100 with you, Alex. Board Game Officer, where do you live? Board Game Garden, ooh, that's a great idea. Yeah, Jenna, genuinely, I'm fine with that idea. Oh no, we ran out of messages. Okay, well, I guess we can... It's 1:37, guys. It's too early to close the live stream. Dun 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 dun. Oh, okay, cool. Got a message. The Catan memes are unending. Love it. Okay, perfect. It's insane. Great. I love it. I love commitments to the bit. Okay, just scrolling through messages while I'm on my phone, because why not? Dustin, hi Alex, do you have a go-to spooky season board game? What about the winter holidays? Diablo, hello, Alex and friends. So, Dustin H. Do I have a go-to? So first of all, keep in mind, obviously, religious, I'm Jewish, and therefore I don't celebrate Halloween, nor do I celebrate, like, Christmas. I am aware of them, and culturally they do have an impact. Like, recently I was traveling at WSBG, and there were a bunch of Beanie Boos, and I usually get my kids stuffed animals when I'm traveling, and they were all Halloween-themed. So I got them because my kids like Halloween as a theme. We don't celebrate Halloween, we celebrate Purim, which is a similar holiday with lots of dressing up and food and all that stuff. But either way, so the point is, I am aware of the seasons around me, but I don't necessarily celebrate certain holidays. So, do I have a favorite spooky-themed board game? Right now, I'm going to say, what's it called? Dreadful Meadows, because Dreadful Meadows showed up. That's definitely Halloween-themed. That's definitely scary-themed, so I like that. But I don't know if I lean into spooky season, per se. I like spooky stuff, I just don't lean into spooky season. Although I will say, I'm not going to say yet. There's an idea. Meg and I had an idea of something Christmas themed that would be a fun little combination of stuff that we might do. We'll talk about some other time. Either way. But as far as, so winter season as well, same problem. I don't really lean into winter themed or Christmas themed games because I just don't celebrate them. I'm not against them. I have them. I have like whatever stuff. I have various things that are Christmas themed or Halloween themed or spooky themed or all that. And I'm totally fine with them. I just don't lean into them as seasonally as you might think. John, oh, we got so many comments. Whoa, that's scooped up. A Board Game Garden, love this community. Yes, very much, Jenna, very much. Nat, Alex, why aren't you doing the old King's Crown coverage? Because they didn't reach out to me. So, Nat, fun fact over here. When I first started, I didn't reach out to people because I was too small. Because I'm not going to reach out to somebody if I have 1,000 subscribers. I just don't care. And by the way, if you have 1,000 subscribers, you should reach out to people. I just didn't. I felt like, who cares about me if I'm 1,000 subscribers? Then I hit like a certain point where I had enough views and an audience that I was like, somewhere around the 5,000 mark to 10,000 mark, I started reaching out to publishers and being like, hey, I'd love to cover your game. That's good. It helps you build connections. But then I got to a certain point where, probably around 10, 15,000 subs, where I stopped reaching out because people started reaching out to me, and I prefer it that way. The big reason is because I'm reviewing things. Very often I'm reviewing them. And if I say, hey, by the way, publisher, I'd love to cover your game, and then I play it and I don't like it, I feel worse. I feel more of a commitment to like the game if I asked for it. And I'm not going to do that, but it puts me in a weird spot. Whereas if the publisher says, hey, can you cover the game, and I don't like it, I feel better about that. So I usually don't reach out to publishers, usually. There are exceptions when I really want a game and I just don't want to buy it, but most of the time I do not reach out to publishers. Most of the time if I want a game enough, I will just buy it and deal with it. I want the publisher to want to work with me. I don't want to chase them for a game because I am reviewing it. In the case of the Old King's Crown, I didn't chase them, they didn't talk to me. There you go. I have not covered it. John, would you like to live stream a TTS of the Shrieking Hollow? Speaking of publishers and liking games and all, John, I'm not averse to it if we can make it work scheduling. But first of all, two things. One, I don't know if you remember my review of the Night Cage. I was okay with the Night Cage. I was fine with it. I liked it. I'm happy to play Shrieking Hollow, but like I like Tesseract a whole lot more than I like the Night Cage. Past that, the biggest issue is scheduling, because how long is the crowdfunding campaign good for? Because my biggest issue is I'm going to ONEB. I have the holidays Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to ONEB Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, Meg is in Cleveland and we're filming like 5 or 6 videos for paid coverage. And then Saturday I'm offline. And then Sunday I have a regular day. Monday I have a regular day. No, Sunday's my daughter's bat mitzvah. Monday I have a regular day. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is England. And then Friday I think I'm going to Boston, if I'm not mistaken, Massachusetts. And then I think that's my schedule for the next, 3 weeks, 4 weks. I live a crazy life. It is a lot. So I'd love to, if we can make it work time-wise. John, I'd love to see you do a top 10 games with people with vision challenges. My wife has trouble seeing clearly at 2 to 4 foot distance, so many board games are too difficult for her. John, that's an excellent idea. The only tricky part is I don't know if I'm qualified. Like, I don't even know, because I don't have that issue, I don't know what would or wouldn't fit the criteria, if that makes sense. So I'm not against the idea. I think it's a very good idea. I think games for like anyone who's has in any way an impairment or obstruction, I think is a good idea. I just don't know how to approach that easily. John Nat, Alex, what's your favorite horror themed board game and why? So, I mean, Cthulhu Death May Die is my favorite horror-themed board game, and it's because you're punching Cthulhu in the face while you're leveling up and going insane. I don't know if I love horror games because they're horror. In fact, speaking of which, speaking of the Night Cage, if you play the Night Cage with candles on and the light off, that is a good experience. It's a great experience. But in general, I don't resonate with games because of the horror theme. I happen to have a horror-themed game that I love. Jeremiah, what is the chance of having DCs to be compatible with Marvel Zombies? They said yes, I believe. Professor Meg, I just tried calling from my bunker. Uh-oh. My phone's on silent during these live streams. Okay, Meg? Let's see what's going on. She's here to answer some important questions, guys. Hello, Meg. You're on air.
Hi. I've gotten pretty comfortable here, so...
The volume's terribly low. 1 second. Why is the volume low? Is that you or me?
It's terrible. Am I on speaker?
Yeah, but the volume's so low.
So low, so...
You're not on speaker. Go ahead, now you're on speaker.
I'm just on my regular phone.
I think you're...
I always am.
Oh, now you're on speaker. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hi.
Hello, how's it going?
When you called, I had planned to answer as like a pizza place, and it was going to be funny, and then I got caught off guard and started talking normally, and now I just want to say hi.
Did I ruin the pizza place joke because you forgot you had a joke planned?
Yeah.
That's a shame. Hey, we'll do it again. I'm going to call you back, okay? Bye. Ready?
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be... I guess I have to do the bit.
Joe's Pizza, home of the famous 100-pound mozzarella sub. How can I help you?
Can I get an extra large with 3 cheese pizza with ideally pineapple on one half, red onion on the other half, and do you have coated fries?
Sorry, sir, we don't do no vegetables here. You can have cheese and meat.
Do you do poutine?
Yes.
I'll take
delicious.
Poutine is delicious. I'll take 2 poutines, and forget the pizza. Pizza with no pineapple. What's the point?
Poutine pizza?
If you do poutine pizza, I'll do poutine pizza. Isn't poutine pizza effectively just pizza with fries in it?
And gravy.
Oh yeah, so I'll do poutine pizza. Let's do 2 extra large poutine pizzas. If you can slice it into 7 slices, I know people like to do the even, but I really like the odd number. It's my OCD. So if you can do 7 slices in one pie and 9 slices in the other pie, it's not 9. 9's not a prime number.
I'm sorry, sir. We only do 11, 19, or 27 slices.
I'll do 11 and 19. I only do prime numbers, so no 27. So 11 and 19 work for me. That works. Right. And then when can you have that ready? I can pick it up in half an hour.
We can bring it to you. We'll be there in about 27 hours.
Excellent. That'd be amazing. Wait, 27?
Right.
No, I can't do prime. I told you, it has to be a prime number. Can you do 19 hours?
We cannot.
23 hours.
29?
29. Yeah, 29 is prime number. Yeah, we can do that.
See you then. We'll bring you a free Coca-Cola.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks, Joe. Oh, my address. Darn it. All right. What's the chance of having DCs be compatible? We covered that. Alex, what's your favorite Jewish holiday and why is it Sukkot? My favorite Jewish holiday is probably Hanukkah. And because it's so chill and fun and it's got jelly donuts. Who doesn't want a jelly donut? Brian T. Alex, I see Tamasha replaced Nemesis Lockdown on the shelf. Cold? If not, when are we playing? Brian, I'm happy to play Nemesis Lockdown. Give me a shout. You come on down here. We'll play Nemesis Lockdown. You have my email. You have my contact info. You have me on Discord. Message me and we'll play Nemesis Lockdown whenever. It's not called yet. Let's see. Nat. Nope. Unemployed lawyer. Jewish Halloween is the superior Halloween. I mean, I haven't engaged with real Halloween, so I can't say for sure. I will say the one thing I like about Jewish Halloween, compared to regular Halloween, is regular Halloween has you knocking on your neighbor's doors asking for candy, and Jewish Halloween has you exchanging candy and food, but with people you're friends with and know. I like the focus on the building and reinforcing of connections as opposed to strangers. So that's my personal preference. So, but I could argue either way. I never really did real Halloween. Nat, Alex, give us some question suggestions. I mean, you've been doing great. I can't even keep up. John, Boop and Night Cage are great October games. Oh, Boop I have not played. I mean, I played Boop. I haven't played Boop. It's so annoying. You made a game that I can't talk fast on the name, because if I talk fast on the name, it just sounds like Boop. I can't say Boop. I have to say Boop. I have to, really give it time. I can say, the Night Cage faster than I can say Boop. Or Tesseract, the Night Cage. What else do you make? A whole lot. The Oil Spill. I think it's called Oil Spill. Something else, I have to say Boop. Otherwise, you think I'm talking about Boop. Dwarf Furious, it's arrived. Inserts to assemble for Beast and keep the heroes out and DEI. Oh, DEI, it's so good. Velchico, revisiting some big older FFG games. MOM Second Edition, Star Wars Rebellion, Runebound. Opinions from today's perspectives. MOM Second Edition, I've tried it a while ago, didn't like it. I tried it again last year, still didn't like it. Star Wars Rebellion, I think it's fantastic. It's just too long. It's just too long for what I get to play. And then Runebound. I haven't played Runebound in a while. I really liked Runebound, but I think The Witcher, to me, did the Runebound better. Jeremiah, what about Arbor Day? I don't do much with Arbor Day. William, on a live stream a few weeks ago, you recommended My City as an entry legacy game to try out with my wife who isn't into board games. Amazingly, she loves it. Thank you for the suggestion. William, I'm so happy. I love it when suggestions work out. I love it. It makes me feel so good. That's why we're here. Nat, so rude they didn't reach out to you. I'm boycotting. JK, it's one of the only games I'm excited about. I mean, not everyone's going to reach out to me all the time. Mike, I'd like to have a bunch of free games. Not sure I like learning, punching, sleeving, and sorting new games, though in mass quantities. Yeah, the free games that reviewers get, it is fun. I will never deny that having boxes show up at my door, that just, like, it's a frequent amount of just gifts. I love it. I do. But it's not free. You're doing a lot of work in the industry for those games. I mean, something at King of Average is doing a video about the nature of this, and he's just talking to me about, like, what's the payoff for like reviewing a game. And like I pointed out to I gave him a bunch of pieces of information, some videos that did well and mediocre videos. But there are plenty of videos that I'll get like $6 of ad revenue on, $6 of ad revenue, and I have to play the game multiple times, I have to punch it, I have to learn it, I have to film it, I have to do all that stuff. You're talking about anywhere between, on the low end, 4 hours, on the high end, I mean, the high average is 4 to 8 hours, and some games take longer than that, to get possibly $6 of ad revenue, which is insane. It's bonkers. So it's not free games. Yes, I do also walk in with a game. That's also where Patreon is a huge thing. If you have $1,000 of Patreon support, I do around 50 videos a month. So $1,000 of Patreon support means each video has a flat base price of at least $20 per $1,000 of Patreon support. That's a huge deal. That changes the $6 of ad revenue I get for a video, which can be hot garbage and some of the bad videos for the time I put into it. So suddenly, that 4 to 8 hours isn't making $6, it's making $26. Or if you have $2,000 of Patreon support, it's making $46. It still isn't great pay, but it makes it manageable. That's why Patreon support is really, or just general support, is a huge benefit for any content creator. Mike, Diablo, Alex, do you know Human Punishment? I don't. I mean, I'm aware of it, but I have not played it. Nat, did you finally let Meg out of the basement? There wasn't the basement. I think it was a cabin in the woods, wasn't it? I think. Shiny Marvin, so listen here for publishers to offer you games via email. What are the questions you want publishers to answer so you can decide if you want to cover? I mean, generally, the main thing I usually ask for is a rulebook. I ask for a rulebook, what player counts it's good at. That's the main thing. A rulebook kind of gives me a level of interest of, okay, great, the art's good, but just I'll scan the rulebook and have a sense of whether it's for me. Although sometimes I don't read the rule. Like, I can't read every rulebook that a publisher sends me. I scan it and get a sense of the gameplay, and then pass that player count. If a game plays well at 2 or 3 players, I can play it a lot easier than I can if it plays well at 4 or 5 players. And then also, art is a big factor. I will turn down a game that does not look good, unfortunately. It might be the best game ever, but if you didn't make it look good, how am I supposed to know that? Jeremiah, nope. Alex and Meg Pizza Place Thursdays on ABC. Rob Miller nailed a 10 out of 10 joke. Nat, Meg's Pizza Place is famous for their sub sandwiches. Oh, sub sandwiches. I would have done sub sandwiches. So Meg is not locked in the pizzeria. Nat, cursed. Meg's deep voice is hilarious. Corey, this is how I'm spending my time, listening to Pizza Bit from Board Gamers. Honestly, blame Meg for that, but it's not the worst way you can spend your day. Nat, can they do incrementally increasing radius per each slice according to the Fibonacci sequence? Oh, Nat. I should. Oh, that's so good. Jeremiah, it's cute that Alex knows that it's Meg and Meg knows Alex yet, and Alex knows yet she still does the voice. Well, yeah, this is a performance piece. When Tom Cruise is talking to, I don't know, who's Nicole Kidman. I mean, I'm going way back. I'm dating myself. When Tom Cruise is acting with Nicole Kidman, they both know they're not the people they're playing, but they still do their bit. Obviously, I'm comparing myself to Tom Cruise and Meg to Nicole Kidman, because like that's the level of acting you see here. Killa, free Coca-Cola. Sweet. I thought that was very impressive. The 29 hours was a lot. Unemployed lawyer, I've engaged with both. Jewish Halloween is better. That's good to know, I guess. I can only offer my perspective, not the rest. Nat, wow. Nat, nope. I know when I'm not wanted. Unsubscribing. Wait, what did I say Nat, nope to? I don't remember, but I believe it. Professor Meg, we can cut out my first column post. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'll get right on it. Dwarf Furious, I got boo bad packs. Mike, I really want the spill. It's called the spill, not the oil spill. And Tesseract, but I already have too many games with more incoming. Yeah, that's a problem. Eck, review of Millennia. I don't know if I have Millennia on my radar, so no. Sure D, OMG. Brian, Alex, have you thought about doing a Q&A about getting the pulse of the crowdfunding community? Games people are looking forward to, games people don't think are getting enough love or missed the mark. Games people are looking forward to, games people don't think aren't getting enough love or missed the mark. I mean, I'm open to it. So the only problem with dedicated Q&As is I've tried doing dedicated Q&As in the past, and they usually don't end up quite as dedicated as I hope. I'm like, I'm doing a dedicated Q&A on this subject. And usually the questions just flow, and you get like 10% more questions on that subject. So I'm not against the conversation, but it would be hard to enforce effectively. Corey, Alex, as a tech nerd, have you played and put out any thoughts on Turing Machine? Oh, I think Turing Machine is brilliantly designed. I also don't like it. I don't dislike it. I don't dislike it. I think it's okay. I think that the problem is, as a multiplayer experience, it feels like you're playing a solo game. And as a solo game, it feels like there's no race challenge aspect to it. So I was okay with Turing Machine. I think it's phenomenally cleverly designed, but I'd rather play other deduction games. Quay, base game Ands End, Thunderstone Quest, or Ascension Tactics. What about All In? Base game, I'd go with Thunderstone Quest. All In, I'd go with Thunderstone Quest. Mike James, All In Ands End is too much game. Yes. Brian T, Ands End is cooperative and great. Ascension Tactics is competitive and also great. I think Ascension Tactic has cooperative scenarios too, which is worth mentioning. Pure Furious, favorite Monopoly? Chocolatopoly. Maybe. There's no favorite Monopoly. I mean, I don't like Monopoly enough. Jen Cam plays board games. I probably spend 10 to 20 hours in a video of a free game with no YouTube monetization. It's a lot of work for a free game. Yeah, that's the thing. And again, I don't want to undersell it. Like, sometimes people undersell it, being like, oh, it's a free game, what does it matter? Like, it's only $20. No, it is fun. It is fun. On a regular week, I get 5+ games being sent to my house that just show up, which means any day I can go outside and there's like a fun little gift outside, and it's fun. I love it. It's also not worth it. Just like, both things are true. I love the free game. I do. It's fun. It's like all the, like that idea of like going on Amazon, buying something, it shows up 2 days later and it's fun. You get to do that with games. It is a fun life, but it's not worth the money in that sense. Like the work ratio is not great. Thanks, Mike and Brian. Dan, I'm intrigued by 20 Strong. Do you think CTG will release more versions of it? Yes, they already have more versions planned. They have more versions coming to GameFound for Tanglewood, I think. I think Tanglewood. I love this. And Burn Cycle, I know they have in the works. Elder Scrolls, I assume they will, but that could have licensing issues, so not as clear. Nat, you probably skipped over and said Nat nope, or misread a comment as mine and corrected. I don't know what I did, Nat, but I apologize from the depths of my heart for whatever I did wrong. The Preacher, what game do you think deserves way more credit than it gets? Oh, this could be a laundry list. Ready? Here's a bunch of games that I think are absolutely amazing, and I think the BGG rating for the games is not as high as how I hold them. Okay? It doesn't mean they're actually better than the BGG rating. It means I love them so much. Paris, La Cité de Lumière, The City of Lights. I think it's a fantastic 2-player game that beats Patchwork out of the water. It's phenomenal. It's from Devere Games. The expansion makes it only better. It's a 7.4 on BGG. That's an absolute criminal crime. Carson City is an amazing worker placement experience that is tense and head-to-head, beautifully designed, so much fun, so much variability, an absolutely incredible game. It's a 7.2 on BoardGameGeek. I cannot believe it. Aquatica I think is a 7.4 if I'm not mistaken. I think the expansion is a 7.7, I believe, but Aquatica is an incredible game. It's one of my favorite little tableau builders. Not really a tableau builder, but you're slotting cards up. It's very innovative. It's very different. It's got great hand management. It's just so much fun. It's a 7.4. That's madness. It's crazy. Wild Ascent, I think it's a 7.2. Keep in mind, I don't always know every rating at any given time, but Wild Ascent is, I think, a 7.2 on BoardGameGeek, and I love that game. It's so much fun to level up your various hunters as you go through the wilds, as you capture creatures, and sometimes kill creatures. I do think it's a game that has a messy rulebook, and I do think it's a game that doesn't show how good it is after one play. You need 3 or 4 plays to, like, because you're leveling up, you're getting stronger and better, so you can't just give it one play, especially with the messy rulebook. So I understand why the rating, but it's much better than 7.2. Vindication at a 7.8 is like, I mean, that's a good rating, let's be honest, but Vindication is gold. Every time I play Vindication, I'm like, why do we even need other games? Why? Why do we need other games? Vindication is just like one of the best that there is. And so I love Vindication. It's insanely good. It's a 5 out of 5 for me. I think it's incredible. I mean, again, if it was an 8, I'd give it a rest. Like, listen, not everything can be that high, but a 7.8 is criminally low for how good Vindication is. So I guess that's 5 off the cuff. And honestly, if I got all those BGG ratings right, I mean, Meg, Meg has that game show of what's it called? The prices, the dice are right. If I got all those ratings for those games right, dead on, I think I said 7.4 for Paris, 7.4 for Aquatica, 7.8 for Vindication, 7.2 for Carson City, and 7.2 for Wild Ascent. I think those are the ratings for each one. I'm fascinated if I got them right or not. I know board games a little too well, I think. I'm intrigued by 20 Strong. What game do you think deserves... Nat, has anyone asked what games you're enjoying at the moment? If not, I'm asking it. Evenfall, Wayfarers of South Tigris, Expeditions, Apiary, Whistle Mountain. Those are some really solid games I've been playing recently. Jeremiah, in the past you've said you were into TCG, specifically MTG. Now that they've said Standard's now a 3-year rotation, would you consider getting back in? They made Standard a 3-year rotation? Why would they do that? Why would they make it... That seems insane. But no, I'm not getting back into MTG. I could play all the board games, or I could play MTG. By the way, we will probably wrap things up soonish, but not necessarily so soonish. Mike, focus videos from a creator who does unboxing and ramblings is probably a bad idea. Focus videos. Oh, focus videos. I just got that. GenCam, Turing Machine Solo is great on BGA. I didn't know they had it on BGA. I'd probably play it on BGA. Fun. I'd probably play Turing Machine on BGA. I didn't realize they had that. Killa, has the thought of a video game live stream ever now and then ever crossed your mind? Yeah, definitely. I actually did them way back when I did the Slay the Spire. Like, one of my first live stream engagements was playing Slay the Spire, and I was too distracted by the chat, so I didn't. I am very intrigued by playing more video games on live stream. I think it's something I'd love to do. I just don't have time. I have to balance my time commitments in every avenue, but I'd love to, like, play through BioShock on, like, Twitch or whatnot, or just Slay the Spire on Twitch. There's a lot of things I'd love to play, but time, effort, and energy. Corey, Dan Edwards, they have 3 sets of Manny Trembling in the works, so 20 Strong definitely has more coming. Ryan, thoughts on the new Dune Uprising? I mean, I'm intrigued, but I like Dune as is, so, like, I'm intrigued, for sure. Dan Edwards, Corey, thanks. Nat, a criminal crime as opposed to those non-criminal crimes. I hate you all. I guess someone with enough money or power did it. It's a non-criminal crime. That hurts. Velichka, favorite alien-themed game? Probably Unsettled, instinctively. Professor Meg, this crime is criminal. I hate all of you so much. You guys are so much fun. Voodoo, Vindication is one of my few 10 out of 10s. Tyler, what are your preferred Vindication expansion modules? I mean, honestly, Vindication base I love as is. I played with the Pets module recently. It was great. Tyler, keep in mind, what are your preferred Vindication expansions? Tyler, keep in mind, according to Alice, you can commit crimes as long as they aren't big crimes. That's true, Brian. Good callback. Professor Meg, wow, you got it. I take it, Meg, that you looked up whether I got all 5 of those games. I love it. I love it. I don't know why I know all those games. I think it's because I'm upset at the ratings. Like, if you asked me what, I don't know, what's a game I love that everyone else loves? If you ask me Coimbra, actually, I think Coimbra is a 7.8. If you ask me The Loop, I think The Loop is a 7.9, but I could be wrong. I don't know all games, but the ones that are lower than what I like, I'm more offended by those, so I remember those more. Voodoo, I'd be interested in the opposite question. Games you think are rated much higher than you believe are worth. Oh, okay, fine. Nat, might want to wrap up before FEMA sends an alarm to your phone in 20 minutes. Yikes. I do know the thing you're talking about, but I will wrap up before that. So, opposite question. Games that are much higher than you believe are worth. So there's a higher category. There's a higher category of games that I believe. Meg's like, I hear kiddos. Yeah, the kiddos are leaving the house right now, so they're by the entrance. Anyways, games that I think are not as good as the ratings. So there's a bunch. I think Scythe is a game that never landed with me as much. But also, like, that's the thing. I'm less offended by that. So, like, okay, so everyone loves a game and I don't. That's okay. That's allowed. Versus I'm more offended when you don't love a game that's so great. I don't know why that is. Makes no sense. But Scythe, that didn't work for me as much. Even Gloomhaven. I think Gloomhaven's great. I don't know. Gloomhaven I have a weird relationship with. I played it too much. So it was like my number 3 game of all time last year. It's not going to be there this year. Sorry, Meg. Past that, I don't know. I'd have to look at the BG Top 100. There's a lot of games that are really, really well loved, and I'm more okay in them, but I don't know those as passionately. Vindication is one of my few 10 out of 10s. Wow, you got it. And Vince did. I'm cracking up. Updated thoughts on Fractal. I mean, I don't have updated thoughts. I played Fractal. I liked Fractal. I didn't love Fractal. It was a good game, so I don't have updated thoughts. Shiny Marvin. About negative reviews on popular games, I can identify with content creators well. When they dislike a game I dislike more than the creator liking a game I like, I see the downside of it too. I can identify with content creators well. When they dislike a game, I dislike more than a creator liking a game I like. I did not follow that. I'm sorry. I do not follow that. 20 Strong, but I have more coming. I haven't gotten anything of it yet. That's fair. Unemployed Lawyer. I missed the criminal crime comment. I'm pretty sure I said that's a crime that's, well, criminal. Or I said something along those lines. I said something I got multiple people commenting on how crimes are criminal or criminals are crimes. Meg, I thought we'd get to say hi. No, unfortunately not. Gloomhaven just came to Switch. I may play it now. That's fair. You should probably play it if it's on Switch. I think Gloomhaven's great. It's a very weird relationship. See, and I don't, here's the thing. Meg, cover your ears, okay? I don't know if Gloomhaven's going to be in my top 100 this year. I don't know. My opinion of Gloomhaven is colored by the amount of Gloomhaven I've played and sometimes forced myself to play when I wasn't in the mood of it because we were streaming it. Top 1,000. It will be top 1,000, Alexander. I don't know. It's hard because how can you not love a game or think well of a game that, like, I have, like, 200 plus hours of Gloomhaven under my belt. That's insane. Like, I have a lot of Gloomhaven under my belt. I definitely appreciate it. I definitely love it. But I've also played it so much that it's gone. Like, it was my number 3 game of all time last year. And, like, right now, just to give you an example, right now, like, you and I are still in the middle of Gloomhaven, right? We still haven't finished streaming Gloomhaven. I'm happy to finish it. But, like, I'm happy to finish it. I don't need to finish it. I'm fine finishing it. It's not fickle. It's not fickle. It's that I think I powered through too strong on a game system that at times is frustrating. So I don't have an easy answer for you. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't decided. I was thinking about it the other day. I was taking a shower and I was just thinking about the top 100 because on my mind. I was like, I don't know where Gloomhaven lies. And to keep in mind, I haven't done it yet, so I don't know. It's like both a 5 out of 5 and also not. I don't know. We'll figure it out, Meg. I mean, for all of you, Meg won't know either. I'm not going to tell her. Never mind. I was going to say you'll know if Meg seems upset the entire top 100 is clearly not in there, but Meg won't know. I haven't decided yet. I just thought about it. 12-hour live stream of top 1,000. It'll be more than 12 hours. I'm sorry about that. Might need 16 hours for that. Yeah. Devin, where's your 16-hour live stream? Torn on add-ons for Tenacious Adventures. I think don't get any add-ons. Tenacious Adventures is great, but it's overwhelming. I love Tenacious Adventures, and I'm never going to play all the content I have. I'm never. Not maybe. I'm never going to play all the content I have for Tenacious Adventures. Shiny Marvin, identify with content creators who dislike games I dislike. Oh, yeah, that's fair. I agree with that. Board Collect. I would say I identify with content creators whenever their opinion lines up with mine and it's not as held by others. So, for example, Mike from the Dice Tower, Mike Delisio, frequently when they were doing a Foursquare review, I'd find his opinion would line up the most with mine if everyone was different. And so because of that, over time, I resonated with him because when opinions differed, he was more with me. Identify with content creators. Preacher, what games have transformed, revolutionized the industry the most? We have Zombicide with Kickstarter. They were the first campaign to do all the add-ons. We have all the stretch goals. We have Alien Frontiers, which is one of the first games to do Kickstarter in general. We have Dominion, which brought you deck building, which is definitely something that's completely taken the world by storm. We have obviously Catan, is just a Euro game that's accessible in general, but very engaging in many ways. I think that's great. We have what's the first roll and write that went full unpopular? I don't know if you guys remember, but Roll Through the Bronze Age or Iron Age was an older roll and write game that nobody talks about anymore, but roll and writes weren't popular back then. Roll and writes became popular later. Maybe Railroad Inc. or Welcome To may have popularized the roll and write genre. I don't know which game did it officially, but they kind of existed, but then they took off like crazy. What else is there? Who did worker placement? Lords of Waterdeep, Stone Age. Stone Age brought worker placement heavily. Deck building was not done first by Dominion, by the way. Deck building was done by a Field Against first. Mage Knight did deck building first, but Dominion definitely popularized deck building. So, there's a lot. There's a lot out there. Dude, your number 99 was Tiny Turtle. First of all, Tiny Turbo Cars is almost certainly not in my top 100. Almost certainly pushed out. It hasn't gone up for me, and other things have been added, so Tiny Turbo Cars is not in my top 100. I respect that Gloomhaven cannot be worse than Tiny Turbo Cars. I'll give you that. We will see what else makes its way into the top 100. We'll see. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to rank it. I'm not going to bias. I'm going to do the whole thing. Throw it into the thing we use, whatever it's called, and then just spit out the numbers. Whew, that is a good point. Shani, I can understand why most content creators don't mention disliking games. Oh, I dislike plenty of games. I just don't want to do dedicated reviews on them. I feel reviews, and I will, but if I really dislike a game, I have to sit there and say, I'm going to play this game multiple times while disliking it just so I can review it. So if I'm okay on a game, that's easier. If I dislike it, that's just a harder choice. But I'll tell you in a top 10 that I played a game and didn't like it and just didn't feel the need to play it more. That's a different story entirely. Dwarf Furious. Wasn't Tenacious Adventures the one I called dibs on? I honestly don't remember and I'm probably over it. I don't remember, but Tenacious Adventures is not leaving anytime soon, so I don't think so. Simon. Bought Dwarf Romantic on the Switch after watching you review the board game yesterday. Tried it, it's amazingly chill. Yeah, the video game I think I'd be more interested in the board game. Best of Star Trek. Biggest frustration, Lorcana. Yeah, I was heavy into Lorcana mentally at first, and now I'm kind of I'll play it, but it just became so hard to get initially that I tapped out almost immediately. So I guess I wasn't that into it. Nat. I like content creators who have a specific point of view. They always have interesting things to say and opinions I value regardless of if they align with mine. I had an hour-long conversation about AI art this morning. It's a video subject I'm not ready to get into yet. And the reason I'm not ready to get into it, I have it on my things to talk about AI art and all that. But the reason I haven't done it yet is because, speaking frankly, I don't want to do a video on AI art just on myself because I want opposing viewpoints. The tricky part is the people who are against AI art the most are usually very passionate in an obnoxious way. I'm saying obnoxious. I think that they attack anyone who is okay with AI art in any form. And so it's very hard to figure out who I can have a realistic conversation with AI art on. By the way, my opinion on AI art, very simply, is I think it is complicated. I do not think it's clearly wrong. I don't think it's clearly right either. But I think anyone who says it's clearly wrong is I can't see how you can make that argument. But that's a different conversation. We can get into that in a video. I'm going to have to do a video at some point. I'm going to have to do a video. I don't know. Like, I'm open to being wrong. I'm open to missing things. I'm very open to it. I don't know. I don't know. Either way, we'll figure it out. Okay. Opinions on Voidfall. I haven't played it. Ascension. I have similar feelings with Gloomhaven. Ooh, Nat. If you ever wanted an open conversation about it, I'd be open. I think coming from video games where we've used generative content for 10 years already, I have interesting insights. So, Nat, here's the thing. I would love to have an open conversation with you. The problem is, I want to have a conversation with somebody who is anti-AI art. Strongly anti it. But strongly anti it while being able to have a conversation where you're not just yelling at the person. That's what I want. So I want somebody who's against, because I'd love to talk with you in general. I like the conversation. I think it's very nuanced and interesting. I want someone to tell me why I'm wrong. Because my stance is that I don't think it's clearly wrong. I think it is complicated. That's what my stance is. And I want someone to tell me why that opinion is wrong, but I want them to tell it to me from a stance of being able to argue their point well, and not from a stance of shouting down at me. And that's the part. The people who are the most passionate about it, at least on the internets, are shouting down at people in a way that I don't love. Either way. Nat, I am quite anti-AI art. Yes, let's do it. Let's do it, Nat. I'd love to have a conversation with it. Perfect. That's helpful. Maybe not to the extent you want. That's the problem. I want someone to tell me why it's... Here's my thing. Okay, I'm going to give you the... No, I'm not doing it now. We'll save it for a proper video. I can't. I'm so... I hate. I want to get into it. Okay, we will get into it. Just not right now. Januel, I have similar feelings on Gloomhaven. I played it so much that I'm hesitant to play it again. It's starting to feel like work now. That's where I am. I love it. It's a 5 out of 5, but it feels like work now. So, hard conversation there. Any takes on Mercurial? I didn't love Mercurial. I thought it was a more complicated version of Splendor. Not Splendor, Century Size Road. When will top 100 videos come out? That's a great question. We're heading to the end of the year. They should be starting to be filmed soon. I should really actually start a conversation with Jenna and Meg and figure out what the timeline of this. Your opinions on DC Zombicide? I want to play it, but I don't need it. Nobody needs it. We have tons of Marvel Zombies coming, but I want to play it. Curry, that's a tough subject. Yes, it is. Mike James, I like listening to different viewpoints. Those opinions don't necessarily have any impact on mine. Yeah, I think it's reasonable. I like different viewpoints. That's why, if you notice, I'm not looking for people to reinforce my view. I'm looking for people who can argue against me, but doing so respectfully and arguing on the merits of the argument. Don't argue from moral high ground of, well, it has to be wrong. Tell me why. Let's have a conversation. Tell me why I'm wrong. But don't do it from a stance of, like, so many people I find are trying to have conversations on the internet, and other people are like, you don't know what you're talking about. Go educate yourself. Like, that's not a conversation. If you want to educate the person, educate the person. If you're like, well, I can't engage with them on the internet, then don't engage on the internet. But, like, we have to be able to talk about things. We have to be able to have a conversation. The last person I tried having a conversation with it, I was having a conversation with somebody else who was going back and forth, and they didn't like my last point, and so they walked away. I was like, okay, great. So, like, another person who can't argue their point, but just has a strong opinion. Strong opinions aren't helpful. They're being able to elucidate why you feel that way. Like, I can elucidate exactly why I feel the way I do about AI art, and I do not feel that it's wrong or right. I feel it's complicated, but I feel arguing that it's clearly wrong or clearly right is hard. Anyways. Too long, don't read. AI art is copy-paste. Board collect. I can't. I'm not going to do it now. I'm happy to engage. If you want to, my email, anyone who wants to have a conversation with me, I'm happy to get on the phone with them. My email's alex@boardgameco.com. I'll happily exchange numbers, have a conversation with you. I've done this multiple times, and I've yet to have somebody be able to tell me. The only people I've had when I've had the conversation about AI art, so far, it's been people who agree with me by the end of the conversation, or people who walk away from the conversation. I haven't yet had someone convince me otherwise. I'd love to hear more information. Now, let's get into it anyway at some point. 100%, let's do it. Brian, I think most people who have an opinion on AI art do not understand how that art is created. They assume and don't know. Perhaps, Brian. Again, we can have a conversation around that. Karasis, AI art instantly puts me off a project. I'm not an artist or anything. I have no dog in the race. I just haven't seen any Kickstarter project use it well. Karas, that's an opinion around whether it's good or not. That's the equivalent of saying, well, I don't like bad CGI, therefore I'm against CGI. No, you're against bad CGI. If AI art can do what an artist can do to the same level where you can't distinguish whether it's AI art or not, are you for or against it then? That's ultimately the question. This is not a question about practicality, whether you like the art or not. This is a question as to the moral implications of it, not the practical ones. John, as a software engineer, I started being strongly anti-AI. However, I've started to work with it and it's starting to grow on me. Yeah, I think AI in general, AI is very much a tool. And it's very complicated. There's many uses. That's why I'm specifically being AI art. There are many applications of AI art, and they all have different arguments for and against. Dan Edwards, you can argue the Mitcho art is copy paste. I love the Mitcho art. I mean, that's complicated. Also, like another factor that's relevant, okay, just so we're on the same page, from a legal perspective, you can copy the mechanics of a board game 100%. Just put new put new art on that board game and new terms on the board game. Don't use the same terminology or whatnot, and that's legal. So copy paste being wrong is not so clear, unfortunately, because you can I can pick a game. I can pick Zombicide. I can make a game that's the exact same mechanics as Zombicide, word for word, as long as I change any terms that are specifically theirs, and I don't use the same assets, and that is completely legal. Life is complicated. AI for things like I need a module that does X is different than make me art, which is copyrighted content. Again, that's why I'm specifically talking about AI art. I think AI in general is one conversation and AI art is a different conversation. I think they both are conversations, just I acknowledge the additional copyright aspects of AI art. And it's not copyright, to be very clear, it's unclear, which is the problem. 10 minutes until national emergency alert. Corey, better end the stream before you dive into too much AI video. Yeah. I just had a conversation this morning. It was on my mind. I'd be happy to have the convo too, but I don't actually have much of an opinion yet. Mostly questions. I mean, I can answer to an extent, but the thing I'm looking for someone to educate me. Educate's the wrong term. I'm looking for someone to add a perspective I haven't thought of, because I haven't gotten there yet. Stelios, as a designer, AI art is a huge topic. Forming opinions is not right if you don't understand it, generally speaking. Forming opinions is not right if you don't understand it. That's tricky. The question is, this starts to lean into no true Scotsman. Are you familiar with the no true Scotsman fallacy? No true Scotsman is the idea that I say no true Scotsman would ever drink beer on a Sunday. And you're like, my cousin's a Scotsman and he drinks beer on a Sunday. Well then he isn't a true Scotsman. Meaning it's inherently, I think opinions around subjects can be had no matter what. Because what's the gradient in which we allow an opinion? Like, how much information do you have before an opinion is allowed? I do think more information is good, which is why I'm down to be more informed about the conversation. I'm down to hear the things that I don't know, to find out more. I'm open to more information. But to ban an opinion because the information level hasn't been achieved yet, I think we should both be aware of our ignorance, but be allowed to have an opinion. Like, how do you ever allow opinions otherwise? Like, what is the amount of information you must have before an opinion is allowed? It's a complicated rabbit hole to go down, so I don't love that. Port Willis, hope we get to see some Resident Evil playthrough. I hope to as well. Board Collect, I'm an SDUL, architecture is by, I'm going to skip that. David Herbert, AI art, I know that I cannot necessarily recognize AI art, but knowledge of a human source will add something intangible for me, including flaws. I think that's more about the nature of the end result, though. It's not about right or wrong, that's just your preference. Mike James, my biggest worry about AI anything is the possibility of losing the human touch in favor of profit. It's just a tool, and how it's mad will ultimately determine good or bad, but we are human. Again, I'm not for AI art. I think it's complicated. This is where we do devolve into some of those aspects. Did you just give legal advice without a license? Did I just give legal advice? Or did someone else do? I don't know. All the small T's. There was an article in The Hill the other day about AI girlfriends and young men gravitating to that. A whole different rabbit hole to go down. Nidamir, AI is helpful if you aren't an artist, and good could surpass AI. Copyright is often complicated. Yeah. He better lawyer up. I'm not going to lawyer up. BoardGameCo, have you tried Tamashii yet? Not yet, unfortunately. I mean, I played the prototype. Copyright laws being a mess is a big problem that AI art. Tom Scott did a long video on YouTube's copyright system isn't broken. The world is. Oh, Tom Scott's phenomenal, and his video on the copyright system was a great video. David Herman Cole, before Too Many Bones art existed and therefore can be copied, would AI be able to generate such unique visions that have love-hate qualities? David, so I'm gonna end with this right now. Okay, we're gonna end with this. The question of whether AI art can create and innovate in the way that Too Many Bones did is complicated. And I think that's a capability question, and we can get into that. It still doesn't decide whether it's right or wrong. Your argument is an argument as to why regular art should exist. It's not an argument as to why AI art is wrong. So, I think that's complicated. I don't disagree with you. I don't agree with you either. The idea that a machine cannot innovate. If the question is, here's part of the question which is interesting. Oh yeah, it opened a can of worms for sure. Part of the question that's interesting is, there's this theory that the human element adds a degree of creativity that you cannot achieve without the human insight. I don't know if that's true. I mean, like, I think there's a basis to that degree of creation and imagination, but how much of creation is the multiple aspects that we've been fed, and the idea of innovation, the idea that a machine cannot innovate, is a supposed opinion. It has nothing to do whether AI art is okay or not okay. But just because we haven't necessarily seen it yet doesn't mean we won't. AI art is still in its infancy. We're just talking about the capabilities, not the right or wrong in that conversation. Just to close the AI topic, any alternative games similar to Tsuro? Just played recently and loved it. Sorry for the AI stuff. I want to get into it. I want to be informed. I'm not coming at... I think it is a complicated conversation. I think it has implications. I think it has things we should be mindful and scared of. And I don't think any of those things makes it wrong. I think it makes it complicated. And I'm not saying it makes it right either. We don't get to say that complicated conversations are inherently wrong. I just think that's complicated. That's where it comes down to. So, I submitted the last paperwork I need to start student teaching next semester. Enjoy. Congrats, Jen. Appreciate that. Anything else? I think we'll go ahead. We'll end on that positive note. Jen Cam plays board games. Congratulations on your student teaching next semester. Enjoy all of that. Make sure to find time to play board games if you can. And with that, everyone, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up because we have 3 minutes until my phone goes